it is Miss Gregory here, and we are going to go over some tips for finishing your project. The Distance Learning Module Week 4 requires you to do 5.05 3D figures and cross sections project worth 30 points. So let's take a look. These have been cut and pasted from the PowerPoint lesson that goes through cross sections. This rule was actually taken from there. Ms. Stanton has also highlighted it in her document about this week's lesson. So the rule is, and we're focusing for this video solely on the shape, the rectangular prism, because that is the shape you're supposed to do for your project. The lesson will go over other types of prisms and pyramids that you are required to know and will probably be quizzed on later. But for this project this week, all you have to do for the project is a rectangular prism, and there are 6 questions to answer. The rubric is included on the announcement that is posted, okay? So, in a rectangular prism, cross sections that are cut parallel to the base take the shape of the base. The base is typically on the bottom, although it doesn't have to be. It could be turned different ways. Parallel means you are slicing horizontally across from left to right. Okay, parallel would be slicing right to left. Cross sections that are perpendicular mean we move straight down to form a right angle, so we're moving up and down in the motion of forming a right angle. You may also cut things on the diagonal. Again, we're going to focus on this project, and in the project it asks you to think about parallel to the base. So if we look over here in this text box, when you're slicing parallel, it's a horizontal slice separating it from the top to the bottom. So if I had a cereal box and I'm slicing it parallel to the base, and I'm looking at the cereal box like it were sitting on the grocery store shelf, then I would get as the cross section the rectangle that's on the bottom or the base of the box. And you can look here at this example where this is the plane that is slicing and cutting through the 3D rectangular prism, and when you come out you see that this highlighted blue section is the cross section in the middle. This right here, the blue part, is your cross section if you follow what they've done slicing across. Okay, so the first 2 questions have to do with what is your shape, including the units, and what is the cross section. All right, questions 3 and 4 have to do with surface area of a rectangular prism. So look at the shape here that I've included for us to work on for surface area and volume. You cannot use the same measurements 12, 8, and 4 in your project because we are doing the work together now. But when you think of surface area, you are trying to cover the outside of this object. So think of this as you are wrapping a present and you need the gift wrap to cover everything that would show the box. Okay, all the faces, all the sides need to be completely covered. Now, you can see that these are all labeled in inches, and you should tell me what units are on your rectangular prism, whether it's inches, yards, feet, whatever it is. We need the measurement when you are answering question 1. All right, so you see here they have set up how to find the surface area. Where are these 2's coming from? So this over here explains where the 2's are coming from. Basically, we are doubling the sides. We have a top and we have a bottom, and both of them are an 8 by 4. We have a front and a back, which is 8 by 12. And we have a right side and we have a left side, which is a 12 by 4. And obviously you can change around the order because we're multiplying and the answer would be the same. So I went ahead and filled in the answer. You have, if you go ahead and multiply 8 times 4 and double it, 12 times 8 and double it, 4 times 12 and double it. And then of course, after doing that, you are supposed to find the sum, which means you are adding them all up. Okay, so finding the sum would mean you have 352 inches squared, square inches, however you want to write that is up to you, but please include the proper units. Surface area is area and it is squared. Okay, I'm going to skip your question 4 and go on to question 5 with volume. And I'm going to answer question 4 and 6 here on the volume slide. So again, finding the volume of a rectangular prism, it's the same picture we found the surface area of, a 12-inch by 8-inch by 4-inch rectangular prism. Basic box, okay? So volume formula for this shape is basically length times width times height, and volume is always expressed in cubic units. So if you are showing your work, you would say 12 times 8 times 4. Show me what you get with your calculator. You should get a total of 384 cubic inches, or inches cubed. Again, your preference on how you want to write it. Right? Now, this bottom box here talks about question 4 and question 6, where you have to either scale up and make it larger or scale down and make it smaller. So if you are being asked to scale the volume, for example, by 5, meaning you're going to make it 5 times larger, then you would multiply to make it larger. If you are asked to scale it back by 5 or by 1/5, you would divide by 5 to make it smaller. Okay, so hopefully this answers your questions and you will know how to do the project. Please email us though if you still have questions after watching this screencast. Thanks so much, your 7th grade math teachers.